going on, YouTube world? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice, because that is my nickname. I appreciate you guys for watching this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right about now, so it does help these videos get out to the public and my channel to grow overall. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly, and almost every single day if I can, and turn on post notifications too, so you do not miss a single one of those videos that I post. It's only right, you guys. Brand new season officially starts, guys. We have our 12 playoff teams officially for the NFL. So now I figured, why not rank all 12 of these teams in the playoffs? Who has the best team in the tournament? Who's got the worst team in the tournament? Who's a pretty good team? Who has an average team? We'll talk about and discuss all that stuff. But guys, just know, whatever happens on my list, your team can prove me wrong. The Tennessee Titans have a shot to win the Super Bowl, guys. They're in the playoffs. They're in the tournament. I'm just saying. So either way, you know, I'm not going to waste too much more time. Let's just get started. Let's start at the top. I believe the New Orleans Saints are the best team in football, and they're the best team in the NFC. And I believe the Baltimore Ravens are right behind them. And the reason why I chose the Saints over the Ravens was because of a couple things. Michael Thomas and Drew Brees is the first reason, okay? The reason why I say that is because I believe that the Saints have something the Ravens don't, and that's a quarterback that I trust in the playoffs. I love Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is my MVP, but I have a couple questions about Lamar Jackson coming into the playoffs. Drew Brees has won me a Super Bowl. He's won me a playoff game. I trust him more, and he's playing well this year. Michael Thomas. I think Mark Andrews is very good. I like Marquise Hollywood Brown, but who is the Ravens' go-to guy when it's 3rd and 10, when it's 3rd and 7, when it's 3rd and 8? We have to beat tight man-to-man coverage. I believe Michael Thomas is just that guy. I would still take Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins over Michael Thomas if I could choose a wide receiver. But Michael Thomas is right there, man. He is by far the best wide receiver in football just this year. And I believe that, see, when the Ravens are trailing, they can get in trouble. If you get the Ravens in a situation in which they're trailing and you have success on 1st and 2nd down versus them, you can get them in trouble. The Ravens, when they're on their terms, when they're playing their brand of football, no one's going to stop them. However, I believe the Saints had that type of team that can stop and shut down the Ravens to a certain extent. You know, the Saints, in my opinion, can win playing any style of football. They can also potentially win a road playoff game. I don't know if they can go to Green Bay and win. I have questions reserved about San Francisco to a certain extent, but again, if I can trust a team in the playoffs to win a road game, it's definitely the Saints. The Saints are built to win on the road and both at home. And let's not forget, guys, the Saints are 5-0 without Drew Brees. Okay, when Drew Brees did not play this year due to injury, they beat Russell Wilson on the road. They beat the Chicago Bears on the road. They beat the Dallas Cowboys, okay, who are a really talented team. The Saints, it's hard to find a team that can go 5-0 without a Hall of Fame quarterback playing games. And the Saints, they're one of those teams. I believe if you just look at matchups, the Saints should be favored versus every team on this list, okay? If they were to just play on a neutral field, I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl potentially just because it's going to be hard for them to win on the road, potentially at Green Bay and at San Francisco. They have the 3 seed, okay? But again, if you just put them on a neutral field, they're probably the best team. And let's not forget, guys, after they lost to the San Francisco 49ers, they went out and they addressed their issue. Secondary. They went out and got Janoris Jenkins. They now have 3 legitimate cornerbacks that can cover people. And I believe the Saints are just really, really good. I do worry about their over-the-top speed at wide receiver. Jared Cook is pretty good. But again, I think the Saints, they have the least amount of questions to me. I know they didn't get the 1 seed, but again, I think they're the best team in football. Not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they have the best roster. But again, the Ravens, best secondary in football, great pass rush, great elite head coach. Lamar Jackson is the MVP of the league. The guy's leading the league in touchdown passes and rushing for over 1,000 yards. That's something we've never seen before in NFL history. Again, Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Snead. I love their tight ends. Their wide receivers, I don't love, but I like them a lot. Marquise Hollywood Brown is very promising. And if this was college football, I would have to rate the Ravens as number 1 just because of their resume. The Ravens have laid hands on a lot of good teams. They've beaten the Patriots. They've beaten the Texans. They've beaten the Seahawks. They've beaten the Bills. They've beaten the Rams. The Ravens have proven that they can beat elite teams. So again, got to go with the Ravens at number 2. The Chiefs, I don't think enough people are talking about the Chiefs. I think this team is legit. And if I'm the Ravens, if I'm the Patriots, if I'm anyone coming out of the NFC, I don't want to face this team. I don't. Since they lost to the Tennessee Titans, they've arguably been the most complete team in football, okay? Patrick Mahomes. People forget, Patrick Mahomes did throw 50 touchdown passes last year. I think Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in football, but Patrick Mahomes might be second. He's really good. Mecole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill. They have the best wide receiver core in the NFL. They can hit you with so many explosive plays, and they can keep up with the Ravens, the Saints, the Packers, anyone offensively. It's going to be hard to stop the Chiefs in the playoffs offensively. But again, that offense is really good. And Damian Williams hit over 100 yards for the Chargers last game. If he can have any type of production, look out for this Chiefs team because, man, that's the one area they lack in. They don't stop the run very well, and they don't run the football very well. I think Andy Reid, if he's going to win a Super Bowl, he's going to have to at least try to get Damian Williams and LaShawn McCoy involved, okay? And they're solid running backs. Again, it's all about coaching. If Andy Reid gets in the way, I don't know. But again, I like this Chiefs team. And people fail to realize this Chiefs defense is miles better than last year, okay? Now, I still got questions because they cannot stop the run. But they're 7th points per game allowed. They're 8th versus the pass. This defense is pretty good. And if you get Patrick Mahomes at any type of defense, he can win you a Super Bowl. Okay, up next, I got to go with the 49ers. Now, I know some 49ers fans are going to say, oh, we beat the Saints. I understand that. I know you're the number 1 seed in the NFC. And I've been high on the 49ers all year. I was one of the people that said in the offseason the 49ers would win their division. And what do you know? Ghiman Mckinney, Juice Man, yeah, he's right. Maybe you should listen to him, okay? Just saying. But either way, look, a lot of people say Jimmy G is the weak link of this team. Personally, for me, I think Jimmy G is a very good, solid quarterback. Again, 27 touchdowns, 102 passer rating. That'll work for me. Deebo Samuel is great after the catch. George Kittle's a monster. He's their Rob Gronkowski, okay? Emmanuel Sanders is a beast. They have arguably the best fullback in football. The defensive line is probably the best in football. The linebackers are really good. And, the thing that really holds me back with the 49ers, the one thing that pushes me back with them is, look, I like Jimmy G, but I don't like him more than Aaron Rodgers. I don't like him more than Russell Wilson. I don't like him more than Lamar Jackson. I don't like him more than Drew Brees. I don't like him. As far as playoffs go, can I trust Jimmy G? I don't know. I like Jimmy G, but I don't know if he's quite ready to win a Super Bowl yet. And outside of Richard Sherman, who else is their other dominant cornerback, okay? That's the only real questions I have about the 49ers. They're legit. They won their division. They can win on the road. They can pound the football up the middle. Kyle Shanahan is a great offensive mind. They're at number 4. Green Bay Packers are at number 5. I don't understand why people do not wrap their arms around the Green Bay Packers. I think the Green Bay Packers should be among the Super Bowl favorites, guys. The Packers are legit. The defense, the thing about the Packers is they can win in multiple ways. They can win running the football with Aaron Jones. They can win with Aaron Rodgers putting the team on his back. They can win with defense and getting after the quarterback and getting turnovers, okay? And now that they have a top 2 seed, I think the Packers should be one of the favorites to come out of the NFC. The Packers take the football away from you, and they don't give the football to you on offense. The Packers have not peaked yet, and that's very key because somehow they're 13-3, and I think they play some complete games to a certain extent, but I still believe there's a level the Packers can tap into, and I believe Aaron Rodgers might be saving his fastball by the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers is still a top 5 quarterback in football to me, in my humble opinion, okay? Listen, I think Seattle's peaked. I think San Francisco, as good as they are, they to a certain extent have peaked. I don't think the Packers have peaked yet. Look out for the Packers. You don't want to face them come playoff time. You don't want to face Aaron Rodgers in the frozen tundra. You know it. And stop pretending like you don't. The Seattle Seahawks, to me, their quarterback's an A. Their head coach is an A. A+ probably at both. Pete Carroll's a great head coach. Russ Wilson, to me, is the best quarterback in football. However, I'm relying on Marshawn Lynch and Travis Homer at running back. That's not going to get it done. They had a cluster of injuries at the running back position. That's unfortunate for Seattle. I don't think that that's ideal come playoff time. I like Tyler Lockett. I like DK Metcalf. But they really lack a third option at wide receiver or tight end. That's just my opinion. And when they face the good teams, they face the Ravens, they got beat. They faced the 49ers, they've gotten beat. Even the Arizona Cardinals, the Kyler Murray-led Cardinals, they came into Seattle and beat them. The Rams laid hands on them. The Saints with Teddy Bridgewater dominated them. And this defense, I cannot trust. They're 22nd in points per game. They can't stop the run, and they can't stop the pass. They will bend a lot. They don't completely break, but come playoff time versus Aaron Rodgers, versus the 49ers, versus the Saints, I got my questions. I think they are too Russell Wilson dependent. If Russell Wilson plays out of his mind, they can win games. If the game is close in the fourth quarter, I trust Russell Wilson to put these teams away. But the question is, will it be that way in the first place? I don't know. Seattle has limitations, but they're a pretty darn good football team, I would say. The Patriots, they're at number 7. The Bills and Patriots are at 7 and 8. I have to put the Patriots at number 7 just because they've beaten the Bills twice head-to-head. Again, they got the experience. They got a great coaching staff. Their special teams might be the best in football. But, however, this is not the Patriots of old. And now that the Patriots do not have a first-round bye, I don't think they make the Super Bowl. And even if they do make the Super Bowl, I don't see a situation where Tom Brady and Bill Belichick pull through and beats whoever comes out of the NFC. I just don't see it. And when they face the really good teams, the Chiefs, the Texans, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Bills, they've beaten the Eagles, they've beaten the Bills, but they struggle in those games. And versus the Chiefs and Texans and Ravens, they got dominated. Okay, so I just don't believe in this Patriots team. Tom Brady, to me, is kind of washed. Tom Brady, 88 passer rating, 60% completion percentage is not great. The wide receivers are not great, in my opinion. Mohamed Sanu and Julian Edelman are just meh. They're banged up at wide receiver. They don't have a great tight end. Their offensive line is not very good. They just lost to the Dolphins at home. And I just don't see any pop offensively for the Patriots. And I don't see the old Tom Brady that can elevate and make these players look good. So again, that's how I feel about the Patriots. But again, don't count them out. They got Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. Until they die, don't count them out. The Bills, they're like the Patriots. They're basically a lesser version of the Patriots. They're well coached, got a great defense, got a great running game. They're very limited offensively, however, okay? They're 23rd in points per game scored, okay? If you're 23rd in the league in points per game scored and you cannot move the football consistently down the field and score points and get touchdowns, that's not going to cut it come playoff time versus these really good quarterbacks, especially in the AFC with Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Tom Brady, okay? But again, the Bills, they're very good on script. They can take away some of your best things on defense. They can take away your best wide receiver. They can take away your running game. But again, when you cannot score offensively, I don't worry about you. And Josh Allen's good, but he's not ready to win me playoff games yet. So that's how I feel about the Bills. The Texans are up next. Listen, I love Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson is one of the 6 or 7 best quarterbacks in football right now. They have elite wide receivers. The wide receiver core is probably top 3 in football with DeAndre Hopkins, Kenny Stills, Will Fuller, Kuti. I do believe Will Fuller is injured right now, so if he's not able to go, that's a huge blow for that team. But again, they can pick up the slack there. They have 2 really good tight ends. Their running backs are good, but not great. They're good, but nothing special. The offensive line is good, but nothing special. J.J. Watt coming back for this team is huge, guys. It's huge. The defensive line is solid. However, I'm not saying Bill O'Brien's a terrible head coach, but to me, they're just better head coaches than him. And last year in the playoffs, that still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Okay, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It just does. And the Texans, 1 minute they're beating the Patriots, 1 minute they're beating the Chiefs, the next minute they're losing to Drew Lock and Kyle Allen at home. So consistency is not there with the Texans. I believe if Deshaun Watson is on and this wide receiver core is popping, I believe the Texans can go to the AFC title game. But I don't see the consistency. That's my pushback with the Texans. Up next, gotta go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Look, to me, this just goes to show you how good these playoff teams are. The fact that the Eagles are at number 10. They won their division. To me, their head coach, Doug Peterson, is really good. To me, their quarterback, Carson Wentz, is really good. And Wentz, he's shown he can make up for that with not a lot of talent around him. He won this division with virtually almost all his wide receivers injured this year. I think Carson Wentz is a really special talent. And I believe going forward, Carson Wentz is going to do some special things. I think that anytime you have a quarterback and a coach combination, that's an A or A plus or A minus or a B plus. Anytime you have a good quarterback and a good coach, you can win close, tight playoff games, okay? And I believe the Eagles are going to be in every game just because they have Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz to their disposal. And they've shown they can go on the road and beat the Green Bay Packers and beat the Buffalo Bills, 2 teams that won 10 games, okay? The Packers won more games than that, but again, you get the point. However, They don't have great wide receivers. The wide receivers are injured right now. They're basically down to a couple of good tight ends, a couple of good running backs. The secondary is not good at all. The offensive line is very inconsistent. And let's be real, guys. If they were in a division other than the NFC East this year, they would not be in the playoffs. Because the only reason they're in the playoffs is because they beat the Washington Redskins, they beat the New York Football Giants, and they beat the Dallas Cowboys the last 3 weeks of the season. And the Cowboys, their second place division holder, were 8-8. They were able to stick with the joint for almost all the playoff runs, for almost all the regular season, and still get in the playoffs. Okay, it's a credit to Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson, but again, this team is very limited. The Titans and the Vikings are the last two teams for me. The Titans are well coached. Ryan Tannehill is a problem this year. Ryan Tannehill, if you just look at the sample size that of the games he's played, he's playing like a top 5 quarterback in football this year. Not saying he is, but he's playing like it. You know, A.J. Brown is really good. Derrick Henry is maybe the best running back in football. He's at least top 5. He won the rushing title. However, they are too dependent on A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry to make plays for them. And that's the concern for the Titans. They got some solid tight ends, however, an above average defense. But again, the Titans, I believe they have a ceiling in the come playoff time. And then the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings are legit. The Vikings are not a good team. They have one win versus winning teams this year, and that's the Eagles. And the Eagles have been banged up and a mess all year. In my opinion, in order to go far in the playoffs, you need a great head coach and you need a good quarterback. And they don't have that. I don't think Mike Zimmer is a great head coach. I think he's a good head coach, but not great. I don't think Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback. I think he's good, but not great. And what big games has Kirk Cousins won? None. Do I trust Kirk Cousins to win games in the playoffs? I don't. I also think they're too Dalvin Cook dependent. When Dalvin Cook is off, this team sucks, okay? It's literally been proven, okay? Also, the offensive line is improved, but it's not great. So again, the Vikings, limitations of the offensive line, too dependent on Dalvin Cook, not a great quarterback for playoffs, not a great head coach for the playoffs. So again, that's my entire list right there. Those are my 12 teams. Be sure to comment where you agree with me and disagree with me. I'm excited for the playoffs, guys. Let me know what you think about these teams in my list. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video today. Be sure to smash this like button right now if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're new as well. I do post a ton of great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. A fun fact about me is I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. Kind of like Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp. You get the point. Okay, I want to do sports, television, and radio for a full living once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I currently am a freshman there right now. So the best thing you guys can do to just help me continue to grow as a young broadcaster is to just share this channel with all your friends, because potentially if this channel really gets somewhere, I want to start my own network, okay? You know, or potentially if it doesn't, you know, or if I fall a little bit short, I want to go into a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. So the best thing you guys can do to just flat out just help me grow as a broadcaster, help me learn, you know, get other people hip to this channel, you know, just share this channel with all your friends, share this channel on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. And once again, guys, just share this channel with everyone you know. Get everyone hipped and watching these videos. Get my voice out there and heard. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. It's been your boy, Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in today. I really do. Have a God blessed day. Stay motivated, you guys, and I'm out.